Abortion has been a debate now for many years, questioning whether or not it's morally right, at what stage of pregnancy does life start, and the legality of it. All arguments about trimester, liability, and reasoning aside, I believe that there are three reasons why women should be able to terminate a pregnancy without risk of being prosecuted or harshly judged. A woman should have the right to terminate her pregnancy due to rape, incest, or possible death. I consider these extenuating circumstances where a woman's physical or emotional health may be at risk. This could affect how a child produced from an unavoidable or inappropriate situation can be cared for. First, women who are victims of rape should not be forced to carry to term a child that was conceived from an assault. This situation can result in physical and emotional harm. Despite the opposition of many religious-based groups, most people agree that conception as a result of rape should be an acceptable condition for abortion. Even an executive director of the National Right to Life stated in the Washington Times, an overwhelming majority believes abortion should be allowed for rape. If that is the issue that defines what it means to be pro-choice or pro-life, then a majority will side with the pro-choice label. Adoption is another choice for rape victims. Depending on the type of adoption, open or closed, and with the introduction of social media today and instant access to personal information, a woman may still be faced with the product of her rape if the child chooses to seek out their birth mother. This could expose the woman to the personal tragedy she was trying to avoid in the first place. Secondly, women who are victims of incest should not be forced to have the resulting child due to potential emotional distress for mother or child. In Michigan, a case involving a minor girl and her older brother was brought to light where a brother raped his younger sister, resulting in a pregnancy. As previously discussed, states have different restrictions affecting her available options. In this case, the girl was able to travel to a different state to be considered for abortion in a state where late-term abortion is a possibility when deemed necessary to avoid irreversible physiological or psychological damage to the mother. Thirdly, women who are facing the decision of carrying a child to term where a mother's life is at risk should have the opportunity to decide what their best course of action is. A recent article in USA Today was published regarding the right of women to have abortions of late pregnancies that can result in harm to the mother. In this instance, state, local, and medical groups agreed that in the event of a possible death, a woman has the right to decide on an abortion. Over the last 5 decades, the issue of abortion has been debated in multiple ways. This controversy gained national attention in 1971 when a woman by the name of Norma McCorvey wanted an abortion, but was unable to because it was illegal unless necessary to save her life. McCorvey, also known as Jane Roe, sued District Attorney Henry Wade for enforcing the law. The central argument in the case was the conflict between the Constitution's protection of a woman's right to an abortion and how that nullified Texas law at the same time. 2 years after McCorvey filed the motion to the Supreme Court, it was ruled that abortion was protected by the 14th Amendment, the right to privacy. The ruling made abortion legal throughout the whole pregnancy, but left the state law to regulate for second and third trimesters. This case, Roe v. Wade, deemed abortion legal despite potential conflict regarding restrictions put in place by individual state laws. Today, the debate continues regarding the right to choose. Conflicts include the debate of trimester legality, partial birth abortion, and viability of the baby in question. In 1995, a movement towards the ban of partial birth abortions became a heavily debated topic that different government groups weighed in on. The debate continued into the early 2000s as bans against partial birth abortions were passed and subsequently overturned. The most recent topic to be debated is the viability of a fetus outside of a mother's body. Government groups and grassroots movements have come together to debate what constitutes viability and how that impacts a woman's legal right to choose. Some government entities, especially those with religious approaches to abortion, believe that there is no reason to choose abortion regardless of how a child was conceived. At this time, federal statutes support the right of women to decide. However, there is a constant struggle of how state restrictions impact control. States that are historically considered religious can be more stringent on the restrictions they have in place. With that being said, one may think the political statutes cannot provide the understanding of how a woman in these positions may think or feel. Regardless of a person's individual feelings towards a woman's right to choose abortion, unless they are in that situation, it is impossible to understand how a decision could be made. Terminating a pregnancy that is life-threatening due to rape or incest is never a decision taken lightly. Legal statutes and personal opinions aside, we cannot take away the right of a woman to have an abortion when, as a result of these situations discussed here, Life is considered precious, but so is the freedom to choose what is best for your body and your life.